Hey everybody, and welcome out to this week's ClickFunnels Q&A webinar. My name is Mark Bangater. I'm the head of customer education here at ClickFunnels, and it's great to see we have a few people already asking some questions. If you are new to these Q&A webinars, you'll see that there is a questions box where you can submit your questions. With me, as usual, is Fred Gleek. He's here to make sure that I am answering your questions in a way that can be understood. I have a tendency sometimes to answer them on a more technical level, and so we want to make sure that your questions are understood, we get them answered, and so we're going to go ahead and get started. I usually like to feature, kind of a new feature that we have, but there isn't anything. I'm just trying to think if there's anything new that we have recently just released, but I don't think that there is.
There's
And
so much
so,
good stuff already, Mark.
well, there's some really cool stuff coming, but I think
Yes.
most of it is going to be announced at the event next week. And so that's probably why none of it is available yet. But really cool stuff on the way. Lots of cool things that we're working on. So I'm going to go ahead and turn off my camera here, and I will share my screen. And you should be able to see my screen there, right?
Yep.
All right.
Let's start first with a basic question, Mark. Sharon is asking, can you attach an autoresponder if you do not have a website?
Um, I'm not sure I understand the question there.
I, th
Um,
I think it might be she hasn't set up a website. She does have ClickFunnels, and she's wondering if she can create some kind of an email system responding to names in her list and create an autoresponder series.
oh, okay, I see. Um, so basically, oh, she says I need to attach Aweber to ClickFunnels.
Oh, there you
So, well, there's a couple of different ways here. So if you don't have um, a website, I mean, do you still have some ClickFunnels pages set up, Sharon? Do you have like an opt-in page or
Yes, she's
um, okay, so that could have gone one of two ways there. So basically, what you're going to be doing is you have your opt-in funnel. So let's just go ahead and go into this sales funnel demo that I have here because I have a squeeze page set up. And so what you're going to do is you're going to open the editor for your opt-in page, and I'm going to do version 2. If you guys don't have access to version 2 of the editor, I'm going to give you guys a link. If you go to ClickFunnels Christmas.com, I know it's past Christmas, but that was we launched that at Christmas time. So let's just say that this is your opt-in page here. What you're going to do is you're going to go to your settings and you're going to click on integrations. And you're going to select your Aweber integration from the drop-down menu here. If you have not yet connected your Aweber account to ClickFunnels, you'll need to do that first. And so you would actually go to Account and then click on Integrations and then click Add New Integration, select Aweber. You'll need to give it a name also, and then just click Connect. And when you do that, it's going to take you to a Aweber authorization page where you'll need to log in. If you're already logged in, you'll just say Allow Access. And
Sharon, if that appears to be going quickly, remember all these sessions are recorded and you can go back and watch it.
yeah, so basically you have to integrate once with your ClickFunnels account. Once you do that, that's when you would come in here to your integration settings and select Aweber. Now I don't have an Aweber account connected here, but let's it's a pretty similar process. Let's just say drip here, and you would just basically say add to list, and then you would select the list that you want to add to. So that's how you would do that, Sharon. The other option is if you have Actionetics in your account, you can set up an email list and then add them to that email list the same way by selecting Actionetics from the drop down here. And then you can add them to a list and then add them to that list. So yeah.
That's good. So she followed up with, can you use ClickFunnels as a blog?
Not really. I mean, if you're regularly publishing content, it's not meant to be a blog. If you just want to have kind of an advertorial type page or maybe a few blog posts that are going to be landing pages where people opt in, then you could do that. But to manage a blog where you're constantly creating content, I would recommend using WordPress.
Good deals. Now, Sarit is asking a question that you'll probably be talking about next week at the event, which is there a way to create a survey that has conditional logic so that the page they land on depends on the options they choose?
That is coming, and that's one of the things that I think we're announcing at the event. I'm not sure if it's going to be ready by then, but that is being worked on. But right now, um, that is not possible. But that is something that it's a new feature that's going to be coming out very soon.
Okay, Norman is asking, I have a share funnel I'm using that has a ton of pages that I don't need. Should I just delete the extra pages or just leave them in the funnel and disconnect it somehow or ignore them?
So if you have extra pages, there's a couple of different options. If you don't need them, um, you can just delete them. If it's a share funnel, you may want to add an extra copy, like an original copy to your account by clicking the share funnel link again, and it'll add a new, fresh copy of that shared funnel. So that way, if you need it again in the future, if you don't think you're ever going to need it again, you could just delete them. The other option is you can add steps to the extra pages. So when you're on a funnel step, you'll see there's this button down here that says Remove from Funnel, and you can just click on that, and that removes it from your funnel here and adds it to these other funnel steps, which are basically just standalone pages.
Sounds good to me. Okay. So let's see here. And I just answered a question directly that Marianne asked about, she's wondering for people who are, again, less knowledgeable or experienced, are Drip, Aweber, and MailChimp all autoresponders? And I told her yes.
Yep. There's a lot of different autoresponders out there. They all have different features. ClickFunnels has its own built-in autoresponder, and the autoresponder is basically a system for sending emails automatically. And so you can send newsletters to people, just one-off emails if you want. If you just want to compose an email, send it out, you can send it out to your list. If you want to have an entire email sequence set up, you can do that as well. And Actionetics allows you to build that. It's called an action funnel. That's going to be your email sequence. And so.
Well, then let me follow up by asking a couple questions. One of which is for one of my clients, Keith Harris, who's the opera guy, an opera singer, and he's wondering, he wants to be able to do kind of conditional funnels where if someone says yes to this issue, he can put them into one funnel, and if they say no, they go to another funnel, and make it kind of a sort of a multi, different choices go to different funnels, and therefore, not different funnels, I'm sorry, different autoresponder sequences. Is that possible?
Um, so basically, let's go ahead and go to Actionetics and take a look at an action funnel. And okay, so I have one set up here just as a sample. So basically, I have an email, I have this, which actually adds people to a custom audience in Facebook. So that's a feature that we have. If you weren't aware of that, you can add people to custom audiences when they opt in on your pages, or when you can actually base it off of different rules as well. So you can say if they purchase a product, etc. And then you can also move them to different lists. So let's just say you have an email that goes out, and you want to send a follow-up email to people who don't open this email. What you could do is add another email step. So I'm just going to call this email number 2. And once again, this is just an example of what you can do. There's a lot that you can actually do with Actionetics. So I'm going to say, here's the second email, and then I'm going to add a rule here, and it's going to be based off of the email step. So I'm going to click email step, and it's going to give me these options. I can segment this step to people who open the email, never open the email, click the email, or never click the email. So I'm going to say never open the email, and I'm going to choose soap opera sequence email 1 and save that. So I haven't set these emails up yet. I still have to select a template. But basically, this second email here is set for 2 days after the first one. but it's only going to go to people who don't open this first one here. So there's a lot of different things that you can do. Um,
Like, for
and,
example, Mark, one of the things would be naturally, if you're trying to sell and upsell and downsell, you may want to give an example of, if I buy this product, then I get subscribed to this separate, uh, another autoresponder sequence, and if I do buy this product, a downsell and an upsell might be interesting to show.
oh, so like send them an email for an upsell product, basically.
No, in other words, let's say I buy based on an autoresponder sequence, and now I'm going to say, well, if you bought this product, then I'm going to try and upsell you to another one, or if you didn't buy this product, then we're going to downsell you to another product using different autoresponder sequences.
Yeah, so what I like to do, and this is, and Fred, you've seen me do this a number of times. Um, I like to map out my funnels, so that way I know what I need to build, right? So if we have a funnel here, let's just say that's an opt-in funnel step, and I'm just doing this real quick, and then let's just say this is an order page, so I'll put a $sign on there, and then let's just say we have an upsell page, so I'll do a couple of
By the way, while you're
$signs
doing
here.
that, I did buy a program. Got for Christmas. They gave me Desk Scribble, which
Oh yeah,
allows
I
you.
have that one too, actually.
Yeah,
I like that one. I don't have it up and running, but that's a good one as well. I have it over on my other monitor,
got
but
it.
I'm actually let's that's all right. I can keep going with this one.
Yeah,
You got me distracted there.
yeah. Cool.
So let's just, this is the opt-in page here, right? And so what we can do is when someone opts in, we can say we're going to add them to an email list. And we can set up this email list. And let's just say we only want to send these emails to people who have not purchased this product right here. We could do that. And so the way that we would do that is in Actionetics with this email here, we would set up a rule. So we'd add a rule group. We'd click on product. Now we would say never bought product equal to, and then we would select the product. So let's just say order form product here and save that. So now what I would do is on my opt-in page, I would add them to a list. So let's just say, I'm going to say marketing list right here. So when somebody opts in on this page, they're going to be added to this marketing list.
Okay.
And I need to sync that in my settings here. So I'm going to select marketing list. So now when somebody gets added to the marketing list, they're going to go through this soap opera sequence action funnel that I have. The first email there is only going to go to people who have never purchased this product. And I could have 3, 4, 5, however many emails I want to do that. So, and then after that, you have your order form here. We could set up an abandoned cart list. So I'm just going to put AC. So these are people who land on the order page and don't purchase. You may want a different email sequence to go to them.
Yeah.
And so what we would do is actually, let me save this page and exit. And let's go to the order form.
Hey,
There's
Mark,
lots of different,
I
yeah,
got a question for you. And I
yeah,
bet a lot of people are thinking this as well. Just like how you can clone a funnel or a funnel
mhm,
step,
yeah.
would it be nice to be able to clone an email, an Actionetics sequence or sequences?
You can absolutely do that.
Oh,
So that's actually a pretty new feature. So that's probably why you didn't know. It's a couple weeks, only been around a couple weeks. But when you're in an action funnel,
uh-huh.
there's this little arrow right here. Looks like a share arrow. If you click on that, it'll give you the share funnel URL. And so you can actually share this with people, and it'll have your affiliate ID attached, just like the regular share funnels. If you want to clone this into your own account, you would actually just visit the share link yourself. So
Oh, cool.
see, it's cloning my soap opera sequence now, and once that's done, then I can access that.
Oh, sweet. Excellent.
Yeah, so it is. That's a pretty new feature, but it's definitely possible. Oh, real quick, I was going to go back to this
I
order form
interrupted you.
page. That's all right. So on the order form page, I'm going to add a new action, and I'm going to say abandoned cart list. And then for a condition, I want to set this to saw page but didn't purchase. And then I'm going to leave this as a ClickFunnels internal integration. I'm going to say add to list, and then I can have a different list, for my abandoned cart. I can set up another action funnel. But what I also want to do is set a delay. So you probably want like an hour delay to give them a chance to actually buy. And once I create that funnel action, if somebody has visited that page and after an hour they have not purchased,
Yep.
it'll add them to that list, which will trigger that action funnel. And yeah,
Okay, cool. Couple questions here on, will ClickFunnels eventually have a system or a way to create domain names, meaning, I guess, within the system?
so that's something we've talked about. If you go to custom domains and then click add new domain, you'll see right here it says coming soon. You'll be able to register your domain through ClickFunnels.
Yep, I
And
remember we
so
talked about that.
not available yet, but definitely
Coming
being worked
soon.
on.
That's a coming attraction.
Yeah.
So, Marianne, where do I find previous recordings under the, if you go to the support and you go to docs, is that right, Mark?
Yeah, it's docs.clickfunnels.com. And then if you scroll down pretty close to the bottom, you'll see weekly Q&A replays. I've actually tried going through because I think somebody actually made a comment on here about it. I've started renaming these instead of weekly Q&A webinar, I just do weekly Q&A because if somebody is searching for webinar up here, it pulls up every single Q&A as a possible answer. And so if they're trying to figure out how to do the auto webinar or a live webinar, then they'll get a lot of answers they don't want. So I've been working on that. But
Okay.
here's the link to the replays, and so you can see the most recent ones are going to be at the top. Um, there's some in here. This goes all the way back to 2015, beginning of 2015. Some of these are pretty dated. I would recommend staying in probably the more recent ones, past 6 months or so, because we're constantly adding new features, things are changing. So
Good point. Okay, Kathy's got actually, I knew somebody by the name of Kathy Burns. Kathy, that's crazy. I have too many funnels in my queue that I'm not using right now and need to add more that I will use now. If I archive them, will I be able to reactivate them later? And also, does archiving mean they no longer count on my funnel quota? Good question.
yeah, so that's exactly what happens. If you go into your funnel and I'm not going to actually archive this one, but I'm going to show you. If you go into settings inside the funnel and scroll all the way to the bottom, you'll see there's an archive funnel button. There isn't actually a delete button. But if you click this archive funnel button, what it's going to do is it's going to add it to your archived funnels. And that is going to show up on the main dashboard right here under archived. And so you can see I have two archive funnels here. I can actually restore those at any time. And once you archive a funnel, it no longer counts for your funnel quota here. So our starter plan, which is $97 a month, you can have up to 20 funnels. On our Edison suite, you can have unlimited funnels. But yeah, so the thing to note there, though, Kathy, is when you archive a funnel, it could take a few minutes for your funnel quota to update. So we get a lot of people who say, "Hey, I archived my funnels and it's not, the quota is not changing," but it can take a couple of minutes to update this number here.
Norman is asking a question which is in my area with all of the various niches that I'm involved in. He says, how do you automatically create membership accounts? Does the membership software have to link up with ClickFunnels or the payment processor? Now, I'm assuming from this question, he might be using a different membership site software, whereas it can all be done within ClickFunnels. Is that how you interpret that question, Mark?
Yeah, so I mean, you can create your membership sites inside ClickFunnels. I think I actually have I was messing around with the membership. Well, here's one here, membership demo. So you can create it inside ClickFunnels, but if you are using another membership site software like Teachable, member lists, Memberium, one of those types of things. It might be possible to integrate. It just depends on what you're using. So ClickFunnels integrates with Zapier, and I know Zapier integrates with Teachable. I think it integrates with a few other learning systems. If you go to Zapier.com, you can see all the different things that they integrate with. Um, they have they call it their Zap book, their app directory. Um, there's one called Learning something, Learner Community. That's not it. I don't know, but Teachable is one. Um, there's a few other ones, and so you can see what different apps there are there, and then you can send the information over from ClickFunnels to um, to Zapier to your membership platform. The other option is if it doesn't integrate, if the membership platform you're using doesn't integrate with Zapier, you can use the ClickFunnels webhooks. It's a little bit more advanced, and it's going to you might need a developer to help you with it, but basically you can send data through to a webhook to add people to your membership site. So,
Got it. Dale's asking, do you know if the Actionetics email editor is going to be getting some love this year, especially with regards to the mobile display? I find that the text in the emails I send from Actionetics are small and difficult to read. Other times it loads nice and big, but it blows out the right-hand side, and I have to scroll or resize the email to read in Apple Mail. Perhaps I'm missing something, though. Any design tips would be appreciated.
um, so I haven't heard anything specific there, but I know that Actionetics is definitely, that's one of the areas we're really looking at improving this year. So that could be one of the things. But if we look at the email editor, um, it's pretty it's pretty basic to use. When I do emails, I primarily do text. One, just because it's a lot better for email deliverability. And so I'll do maybe like a logo at the top or a single image in an email. Um, and then maybe, have a button as a call to action and different things. But really, you have a few different elements you can use. You can do text, images, buttons, dividers, bullet points, calendar dates, and social media links. So these are the things that you can choose from. Like I said, I primarily do text, images, and buttons. Dividers are good because it can separate things. I
Hey, Mike,
typically don't, yeah.
quick one there. On having the logo or the button within the email, does that not hurt you from a spam filter standpoint, or is that not a problem?
Well, from what I understand, and I'm not the email deliverability expert by any means. Actually, looking at having a guy on here pretty soon to talk about email and email deliverability. But it's from what I understand, you're best sticking with one image and one link. And so you could get away with up to 3 links, but it's better to have just one link. Um, and so those are the guidelines that I typically try to follow when I'm putting together emails.
Okay. Another question from Sarit. Sarit's asking, is there a way to send a subscriber to a particular list depending on what button they clicked on? For example, if click yes, add to one Actionetics listing. If click no, add to another.
Um, what, like a button inside the email or a button on the page?
I think you should actually answer both.
Yeah,
Obviously,
that's a good,
both is easy.
yeah. Let me see. Or it could also be, that could also, I'm not sure, Sri, if are you asking about like on an upsell page or like an OTO where there's a yes button and a no button?
Sarit,
Probably
you
just
want
need
to
a little,
follow up and tell us that?
any page. So basically, let's go back to my
And by the
funnel.
way, Arlene Battershall, this is Fred Gleek, so we won't be allowing any of your questions, just so you know. Just kidding.
I'm going to go to my sales funnel here. So let me
Sarit
actually
says
move.
any page.
Yeah, okay. So let's let's say on my I'm just going to set this up on my squeeze page here, okay? Um, it's a little bit tricky. I might need a little bit more context, um, because in order to do this, the person has to be a known contact. And so basically, let me go ahead and go back here. And you know what? I'm gonna adjust some settings really quick here just so that I can draw with my tablet. Um, 'Cause otherwise it just gets frustrating. Oh, it's not even recognizing my device. Oh well, I guess I'm
Yeah.
gonna be doing that.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay.
so let's go. Let's erase everything here. So basically, you have to have a known contact on a page in order to trigger actions based on the page they visit. Okay, so you would have an opt-in page, and then after your opt-in page, you may have let's say a sales page. Okay, and on that sales page, the person could say yes or no, right? They could say, yes, I want this product. That takes them to an order page. And you could have them say no, which takes them to another page, right? So this would be no. And so you could have a button on each page, and one button would go there, the other button would go there, right? And so what you would do then, let's just say this is your order page, and then this is just a no page, right? So you're just saying, I'm sorry to hear you don't want to purchase this, or you're saying no, whatever. And what you would do is actually so right here I have my order form page. So what I would do is actually set up an automation, and then I would create an action. I would leave the condition as everyone. So basically everyone who visits this order page, I would add them to a list. And if they're a known contact, it's going to add anyone who's a known contact that visits this page is going to get added to this list. So it'll be done automatically. But let's just say that this upsell page here, let's just say that's my no page, for just in this example, I could have another action that adds them to a no list, so that they said no. So anyone who visits this page, they would uh, they would be added to that list. So that's how you would set that up. I hope that makes sense.
Yeah. Michael's got a question that I think I've had on previous occasions that a lot of people might have as well. Is there a way to organize your digital assets into folders?
Nope,
Should
there
be,
is
right?
not. I
That's on
suppose.
the developer's long list, right?
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I haven't heard. I've never even had anyone suggest that before. So
Well, if you put a lot of stuff up there, it gets kind of cumbersome. And if you've got multiple clients, I could see where that would make, in my case, I agree, that would be a nice thing to have because you would group them rather than having to go through, like page by page or item.
yeah, yeah, I
Oh,
can definitely bring up that suggestion.
yeah, I don't think it'll be top on the list, but it'll get there at some point. Stan
Yeah.
Lake is asking, on the order form page, how do you change select country to United States only?
All right. So that's a really good question. I actually have a help doc for this, and I have to reference it myself every time. So I'm going to search for country, and I want how to remove countries from the order form dropdown. So I'm going to add this link to the chat, and then we'll go through this. But basically, there's a little code snippet, and so there's actually two. So the first one is if you're using just a regular order element. So let me go back to the funnel, and I'm going to go to the sales funnel demo, and I'm going to go to the order page, and let's go ahead and open this up in the editor. So this order page here is just using, actually it doesn't even have an address element, so I'm going to add an address. So let's go ahead and add a shipping address. So here's a shipping address element. Um, and it's going to, by default, it's going to have all the countries listed. The other option, instead of doing this full address element, you can actually just add separate input fields. So I'm going to do input, and then I can change this type. I can do, let's do address, and then I'm just going to duplicate this, and I'm going to do city. So I need to make sure I change the placeholder text there as well. So this would be just address. Now there's actually, and this is only in version 2 of the editor, if I add a drop down, let me actually go to form here. I need the select box, that's what it's called. I'm going to go to options. I'm going to change this, and I can do states. So that's going to be the states, and then I can duplicate this, and I can change this to US and Canada, basically. Now that's going to give them US and Canada as an option, but that's one way that you can do it. I know it's kind of all over the place with different options, but that's one way to do it right there. And then if I wanted to use this shipping address field or this billing address field, I'm going to go ahead and get rid of these and just kind of go back to what I was talking about originally there. I'm going to use this article that I linked to, and I'm going to get this this JavaScript snippet right here. I'm going to go to the page, go to settings, and go to tracking code. I'm going to click on footer code, and I'm going to paste this in. Now you do have to edit this a little bit here. You see where this says add element ID? You're going to have to update this with the element ID. You're also going to have to update this list. So I'm going to delete everything except for United States in this list here. But I do need to go get the element ID. So I'm going to go into the settings for this address field. I'm going to click get CSS info. And if you didn't see where that was, because it kind of disappeared really fast, it's this little hashtag # down at the bottom next to the trash can. It says get CSS info. You click on that, and then you get the CSS ID selector. And then you go back to settings, tracking code. Now I'm going to replace where it says add element ID, just that part, paste that in, and I'm going to do that again right here. And now when I go to this page, let's go ahead and preview it, you'll see that it only has the US as an option. They can't select any other option there. If you're using the two-step order form, there's actually a separate little code snippet, but you pretty much do the same thing. Except you don't have to add the element ID. You just have to change the list of countries that you want to ship to. So
I actually missed this question of Bart's earlier, and since I have the same question for something, I want to ask it. He says, and mine is a little bit different, but it's in the same area. Is there a way to create an exit pop that does not cover the entire page so it's easy for someone to get out of it and continue on the site? In my case, I'd like the exit pop, or to be a relatively small box that appears, and again, just can you change the sizing of that?
So if I go to edit pop-up, we'll see the pop-up here, and that's pretty small because there's no content on there. So let's go ahead and just add some content. So I'll just add some text, let's go ahead and add an image, and we'll add a button just for fun. Yep. So that'll be, let's just say that's my pop-up. Okay. I can go into edit pop-up settings, and I can change the size. I can make that small. I'll make it smaller. And I can change this backdrop color too. So this is the color that shows over the page. So like this grayish color here that's transparent. I can make that completely transparent, and then you can still see the page. But honestly, I don't think that looks very good because it kind of just blends in.
Nope.
And so you want to have some backdrop. And
so now here's the problem, Mark. When you do that, it appears to a customer as if you can no longer enter data onto the original page. That's what most people will think, which is not true, correct?
Right. So the other thing you can do, so like if you add a button to your pop-up, let me see. you'd have to in editor 2 you'd have to type this in, but there's a close pop-up action. And so if you type # close hyphen pop-up, this button will actually close the pop-up. And so you could give them instructions on that button. You could change the text to say, you know, close this window or whatever, right? And then I would need a button on this page to trigger the pop-up to even see it on the preview. But we'll have this, and let's go to this button, and we'll set this to open the pop-up. And so now, if I preview this page, you'll see I can trigger the pop-up now, and then if I click that, it'll close the pop-up.
Got it. Okay. I have another question that's, again, something that a lot of people would be curious about, but I've specifically been having it with Arlene, who was on the webinar earlier and has since left. And what was happening is she's trying to set up an affiliate program for great information. And what happened was she sent me an affiliate link to sign up. And she says in her question, now she's not here, also still struggling with that custom domain issue. And the problem with my affiliate site, for me, she says, the links have been tested by several other people and they haven't had a problem logging in. It's the weirdest thing. When I tried to log in to her affiliate link that she sent me, I was getting a whole bunch of weird stuff. Like I got some kind of a Google or Chrome warning that said, the site is maybe virus filled. I couldn't basically get in and set up an affiliate relationship with her by going to the page that other people apparently have been able to go to. Tried an incognito window, did everything, didn't work. What's going on there, you think?
Well, with affiliate pages, you actually can't use custom domains. And so I'm wondering if somehow it was set up on a custom domain on accident somehow, or there's something that glitched and allowed that to happen. The affiliate pages have to be on your ClickFunnels subdomain. So I'm wondering if that might be the issue there. The other thing, I don't know. I really don't know why that error would pop up.
I've got some of the error messages. I'll send them to you to show you because I actually took pictures of them. And Arlene also had another question, which she's left again, which is there a way to integrate payments with PayPal so that you can take money that way? So she says, where is it here? I mean, it's, oh yeah. So if anybody's asked, any chance we can incorporate PayPal as a payment processor? Is that available to us?
Yeah, and I actually have a couple of articles on this already that go through. Let me see.
And while you're doing that, Morton is saying, "Wow, Mark's editor looks different." Remember, Morton, Mark, there's a version 1 editor which I always use because again, the other one's a little glitchy depending on what it is. But Mark is using version 2 editor most of the time, correct, Mark?
Yep. So if you joined late, I actually had posted a link to ClickFunnels Christmas, where you can get access to the beta version of the new editor. So I just posted that link in the chat. So that's how you would get that, Morton. Let me see. So, the question was PayPal. Yeah. So basically, it's so you can integrate PayPal, but you wouldn't use ClickFunnels order forms. Basically, you would just have a sales page and a button that links to your PayPal checkout page, and then you go into the settings for your funnel. And this is really only if you need to give membership access, or you need to send contact information back to ClickFunnels showing that people have purchased. You would go to this third-party membership access here and create a product. And when you create this product, you give it a name. You would select PayPal as your billing integration. The amount doesn't matter so much. That's just really just for your reference. It's what's going to show up in ClickFunnels because they're going to be charged through PayPal. But you do have to put an amount there. And then you get your PayPal product ID when you set up the product in PayPal, and then you get this webhook URL right here. It doesn't look like I'm selecting it, but I am. But you would copy that and you add that to, you do a URL notification inside your PayPal product. So it is possible. Um, it's a little bit long process, so I'm just gonna paste the link to this article here, and that shows you how to set that all up.
Got it. Now, again, it seems like we've answered most of the questions that are coming up here. So I'm just wondering if anybody have I missed anything? If
Oh,
your question,
I saw a question from Dan Havies asking about sending someone to a Facebook custom audience. I kind of brushed by that one a little bit earlier.
let me just see, wait, here, I got it. Mark mentioned sending someone to an FB custom audience. How? Yeah, good question.
So the first thing that you need to do is actually go to Account, go to Integrations, and you're going to click Add New Integration, and you can just call this whatever you like here, and then select Facebook, and then you're going to connect, and that's going to take you to your Facebook account. I've already authorized this app, and I think I've actually already connected it. Yeah, looks like I've connected it 3 times there. So you would make sure you're logged into Facebook, and then you would authorize it, and then it'll bring it'll bring back here, says it was successful, and then you go into Actionetics, into your action funnels. So I'm just going to go ahead and go into this soap opera sequence here. I'm going to add a new step. I'm going to call this Add to Facebook Custom Audience. And then we can set this to trigger whenever we want. Make this an action, then click Add New Funnel Step. And then I'm going to click Setup Now. I'm going to choose Facebook as my integration. I'm going to select Add to Audience, and then it will populate the custom audience lists here. I'm wondering if that's one of the ones that I disconnected. I have like 3 different Facebook accounts apparently connected here, and I'm not sure. Looks like it's not pulling. I was testing it out, and so I'd go in and connect and disconnect and all these different things. So I might have actually deauthorized Facebook, but it'll pull in your custom audiences here.
Might have been one of your Facebook accounts when you had that government protection thing going.
Yeah, maybe.
Let's see here. The other question, Dennis asked this a while back, and Dennis, I apologize for not bringing it up. He's asking about integration between, like if he's selling an Amazon product. So his question really relates to integrating ClickFunnels with a specific, Amazon product he's selling.
So basically, you have a couple of different options, and I'm gonna switch the screen that I'm sharing here just because I really want to use my little Wacom tablet. That's my family there. Um, Let me see. I gotta change my screen. There we go. All right, you should be seeing the whiteboard there, right?
Yep, I do.
Okay. So now I have my tablet set up on only one monitor. That's why I had to switch it. But I actually just had this discussion with someone yesterday. There's 2 different options basically when you're selling Amazon products. You can have, your opt-in page. See how much faster that is when I have my little tablet. Your opt-in page can go to a sales page, and then from there you can have a button that goes straight to your Amazon product page. Okay, and basically when you're doing that, you may add them to an email list where you're sending them some emails, and these emails can send them back to the sales page. You could send them straight to the Amazon product page, but you're really never going to know if this person has purchased unless you manually reconcile that data. Amazon, there's really, as far as I know, Amazon doesn't really have any kind of notification back, to a URL or Zapier or anything like that, right? They're Amazon. They don't really care about anything like that. However, what you can do is you could set up a funnel like this. So you could have an opt-in that goes to a sales page, and then this goes to a ClickFunnels order page where the person, this is integrated with your own payment gateway, and they check out and pay here. You could have one-click upsells if you want, right? Have an OTO page, and then an order confirmation. And from there, there's a couple of different options. One, you can integrate ShipStation directly with ClickFunnels, um, and you can set this to send order information to Amazon. This isn't ideal if you're doing physical product upsells. So let's just say you have a physical product right here on your order form and another physical product on the OTO page, because ShipStation will send the orders as two different orders basically to Amazon. You could make it work this way, but there's another option, and it's another app. It's called Orderlytics. I actually did a webinar with Eric from Orderlytics a while back. You can find that in the Q&A webinars. And what this does is it sends your orders straight to Amazon FBA for fulfillment, and you can batch them together based on upsells and all different kinds of things. Actually, just to clarify with ShipStation, ShipStation does group the orders together, but if you're selling multiple quantities, let's just say you have like a supplement, like a weight loss supplement, and you have, 1 bottle, 3 bottles, and 6 bottles. In order to use this with ShipStation, you would have to send a box of 6 bottles, a box of 3 bottles, and a box of 1 bottle. You'd have to have these all kitted as separate units at Amazon. With Orderlytics, you can have these, and you can basically create the product on Orderlytics and say this product is 6 single bottles at Amazon, instead of having all these different variations kitted and shipped in. So,
yeah, that makes sense. Now, Glenn's asking a question that's clearly above my pay grade because I can't even understand it. Can you explain the RFM data with Actionetics? What the heck is he talking about?
okay, so that's a really good question.
I have no idea what it means.
Let me go back. Honestly, I'll be honest here. It took me a second to. It didn't click with me right away. But I do know what he's talking about. So let's go ahead and go to just one of these test contacts that I have here. The RFM data is the action score, and that's this right here. And so RFM stands for recency, frequency. I know this. I think monetary. Did you say maternity?
Yeah.
No, I think it's monetary. And then we actually have, it's an RFMS. So recency, it says it here on the little wheel. So you can see recency, frequency,
give us the last
value,
but that's
and
not
then
bad.
well, the value is the monetary.
Okay,
And then we also add social into the action score. Oh, it's right here. Look at this. Social, value, recency, and frequency. And so basically, it's just a score that's calculated between 0 and 100 based on how recent they've been to your pages or purchased from you, how frequently they are purchasing from you, the value. So if they've the value of what they purchased. So if someone has purchased a $1 product versus a $1,000 product, then their value score is going to be different. And then social is based off of their social account. So if somebody, this is obviously not a real email address that I have here. It's just a test email address.
Yep.
And if it's connected to their Facebook account, LinkedIn, Twitter.
Wait, time out. The reason why this is important is because the higher the number, the more attention you should pay to that client. Is that it?
Basically, yeah. I mean, this is pretty advanced for a lot of people. I mean, if you're just starting out, you may not pay much attention to that, but that can determine a lot for you, right? If somebody has an action score of 90, well, you probably want to pay attention to them. Even 80, 70, 60, so it just depends.
But basically, Mark, it's ranking the clients in terms of their overall value to you in terms of all these factors.
Exactly. And one of the things that you can do with your action funnels is in these rules that I showed you before. We actually have social rules. So you can base this. So right here it says rule agent. So you have about me. I'll just use Facebook. Where it says Facebook, this is basically whether or not they have a Facebook account. So you could create a list of people who have Facebook accounts and who do not have Facebook accounts. But that's just going to be based on the email address. If they opt in on your opt-in page with an email address that is not connected to Facebook, then it wouldn't connect it. You can base this based on their Facebook followers. So you can say, I only want people to get this email if they have more than 1,000 followers on Facebook. So that could be.
Vince, time out a second. Vince brings up a really good point here that I do a lot of live events as well, Vince, and Vince is saying, I have customers that have bought from me in person and paid cash. Can I add that sale to a customer's profile, but also can I change the elements of that value wheel that include some other element other than what ClickFunnels has determined?
No, there's no way to edit this actual action score right here. It's going to be based off of what the contacts are doing on your pages and in your funnels. But you can add purchases manually. So if someone paid cash, you come in here, add purchase, and you can say, what the price was, or you select the product, and that'll usually update the price. Or you can, manually put the price in. So you'd have to create a product inside your funnel somewhere. But
here's my question: like for people like Vince and I who do a lot of live events, and we want to artificially adjust this action score, we could probably go in and sort of monkey with some of the things to make that score go up, even though they don't have it, right? So in other words, if for us the face-to-face contact is creating a higher action score to us, we may want to sort of juice that somehow.
yeah, so I think the only way that you could manually manipulate it is by adding a purchase. I mean, if I add a purchase here for $10,000, it's gonna really bump up this value here. And I haven't played around with it too much, but actually that just increased it by 10%. So
That's too much.
you'd think it'd be more, but yeah, I haven't played around with this all too much, but it's really something that it kind of tracks your customer history over time and what they're doing and things like that.
Okay, I thought this was good. I've looked. Hold on, Sue. I don't really know. What are you referring to there, Sue? I'm not sure what that refers to. Sue, could you follow up with that? We're just about done, but I'm not sure what you're saying. I've looked. I thought you guys do this in the Q&A. I don't know what you're talking about there. Could you please clue me in?
Well, I see another question from Sue.
No. This is about copying. Just show people real quickly where to copy a funnel step and where to clone a whole funnel. It's a commonly asked question. Let's end with that because that's a good one.
So basically, if you want to clone your entire funnel, you can go into your settings and click the clone funnel button. If you have two funnels that you're already using and you want to copy a page from that funnel to another funnel, you would go into the editor, and if you go to, this is in version 2 of the editor. It's also going to, in version 1, it's going to be in the settings, but you would go to General, and then you would click Save Page as Template. So you could create a template, and then in your other funnel, when you add a new step, you could select that as a template in the other funnel.
Wait, step right there, Mark, on the bottom, it says Clone Funnel Step. Can't you do it that way as well?
Oh, yeah, you can clone a funnel step, but that's going to keep it in the same funnel.
Okay, so in other words, you can only clone a funnel step within a funnel. You can't clone it to another funnel.
Right, you can't clone a funnel step to another funnel. You can create a page template from a page and add that to another funnel. You can clone a funnel step within the same funnel, but you can't clone a funnel step to another funnel directly.
Good. We got Sue her answer there, so I feel happy. And I guess if you want to button it up right now, we can.
Yeah, we may have missed some people's questions, but I apologize. I would recommend reaching out in our Facebook group or to our support team. And we will not have this Q&A webinar next Tuesday. We'll be at our live event in Dallas all week. So if you're going to be there, hope to see you there. Come up and say hi. And we will pick up the Q&A webinar again the following week, which will be, what's that, the 28th of February?
Yeah, I think that's right.
All right, everyone. Have a great week, and take care.
Have a good time in Dallas. Talk to you.